y'all. Hey. Quick turnaround. Welcome back to the Queens of the Ring. I am Nik J. This is my player partner, my sister in boxing crime, BOXIANA the Menace. And we are back on a big old Tuesday. Okay? We made a decision, an executive decision to come back on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday because the fight that we saw this morning requires its own show. Okay, we couldn't even wait till tomorrow to give it to y'all. Okay, so come on in the room. I know a lot of people have no idea that we're on right now, so please share it. Okay, let the folks know that the girls are on. Friends, you're looking real Pebbles, Flintstones, beauty realness is what I'm gathering from over there. How are you doing today?
It's giving tired, dusty, but it's okay. I'm here, friend. And it changed 45 times in the last 3 hours. I went to work with braids. I sat in my office and I was like, I got a free second, so I took the braids down. I came home and I put in a ponytail and I took the ponytail down. And I was like, you know what, just put it back in a ponytail and go on about your business. So
Well, it looks really cute.
thank you.
You
Thank
look
you. How are
really
you?
cute.
I'm tired. It take a whole lot of hammering, baby, to get look like this after the day I done had.
Not only are we just regular tired from work, but we've been up. Well, I know I was up earlier than normal.
Way earlier than normal. Matter of fact, I at 4:30, I still got my eyes closed.
Listen, so I tried to listen, okay, quick story. So me and my guy, I decided I was gonna make a thing because I know, right? I was gonna make a thing. I was like, listen, I got a fight to watch. Come on over. And in the morning, I'm gonna get up and be a good mate, make breakfast in bed, was ready for the fight and whatnot. And everything was great. And so when it was fight time, I was a little nervous because hell, I was getting the itis. I had eaten well. And I was like, I'm normally not up this early. What the hell? But the fight wouldn't let the itis hit. Okay? Fight wouldn't let the itis hit. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the fight. And we are also going to touch on the grand arrivals of this weekend's big, huge, mega fight. Okay, so y'all come on in the room. Come on in. Yeah, we dropped in on a Tuesday. How y'all doing? Hey, Bella Faith. Yes, girl, it's a surprise today. Nakia, make them freeze. Anthony, how are you doing? Sean Terrence, Bionic Prince, Dank Father, Jason Pennywell. Hey, Jason. What's up, Castro? Nurse Lee. How you doing, girl? Philly Bull 91. How you doing? Mo 2013. Boxing and Barbecue. Hey, Boxing and Barbecue. I know you out there in Vegas already. Keisha Sellers. How you doing? Jay Smith. Tiana Scott. Hey, girl. Hey. Todd French 600. How are you? T9's Boxing Class. Not me. Dennis House, no filter. How you doing? Bama Jeff, what's up, Pac-Man Tay? How you doing? Willie Williams, how are you? Coach 67, what's going on? Kizzy, hey girl, hey. Anthony Lumar. Let's see who else. Castro, Mr. Vegas, how are you? Let's see who else we got. Y'all come on in the room. Jason Williams, 88 Sports Talk. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. LaMarcus Robinson, y'all come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So listen, we've got to get into it. And we'll start at the very beginning, okay? We talked about Sunday, that there was a little kerfuffle about the hand wrap situation, okay? Cool Boy and his team, well, not Cool Boy, his team, his trainer had some concerns. And so we were all wondering what the outcome was going to be about those hand wraps. Monster, Inoue obliged their concerns. He wrapped his hands so that they were so that they were perfect for them. They were fully aware of him rapping them, and they signed off on it, and they were pleased with his raps. So there was no funny business with the raps of the hands. So we can just move that on out of the way. That was never a concern when this fight started. Okay, so get into the ring. I had to point this out. Okay, let me just point this out, because we all know that Cool Boy went over to Japan. Okay, he conceded. He's the champion, but he went to Japan, to Inoue's hometown, for this fight. I was very pleased to see that even though he went to Japan for this fight, even though I guess we could just say that Inoue was the A side, he was allowed, he negotiated himself walking out second because he was the champion. Inoue came out first, and I was expecting him to, flex, especially after the whole wrapping of the gloves thing. I thought he was going to flex, but he came out first. No, nothing. Looked nice in his blue and black. And then we get our guy, Cool Boy, the American. He comes out second. Y'all know pink is my favorite color. I just had a funky good time watching Barbie. He had on a black and pink ensemble, really nice. I was pleased with the wardrobe of both fighters. Now, I don't know that music that I wasn't familiar with what Cool Boy came out to, so I can't get into that. Maybe you could speak to that. But friend, I want you to speak to that part. How did you feel about him complying with the hand wraps? And how did you feel about it? Did you even notice that he came out first?
Oh, I noticed. I mean, I thought at the end of the day, I thought it was just a gimmick to get people into the fight. And it did. It had a shitload of people up this morning. When I say a shitload, Twitter was packed. Like, the tweets that were coming in about this fight, BJ picking on me. the tweets about this fight was crazy, insane. I was like, wow, this is so early in the morning for these people to have been up. Karma was tweeting. I had tweeted because she had already been at work for an hour. Me too. I had already been at work for an hour by the time the fight had came on because I didn't want to miss it.
Man,
I thought I overslept.
Do you know how big of a boxing nerd you have to be to set your alarm clock to wake up so that you didn't miss this fight? Like, people don't really, we really have to give it up to them. This is a big ass fight. And you could tell it by, if you're not on Twitter, if I wasn't on Twitter, and for the longest time I wasn't on Twitter, but being on Twitter really magnified to me how big this fight really was. Because here in the States, baby, we were up. We were up and we were engaged. Now, we might have been wiping crust out our eye and whatnot, but we were up and engaged. Okay, so somebody said in the chat that that's customary for the Japanese fighter to come out first. Didn't know that. Thank y'all. I love the chat because y'all learn me something every week. So, okay, friend, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
When he came out, like, I was so surprised that his music was so plain. Like, it was just plain.
Who you talking about?
Anyway.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, wow, you might as well have been at a ballet. Like, it was very calming and like there was no hype behind it. And he came out and he walked straight to that bitch. There was no slow walk, none of that shit. He was like speed walking to the ring. And then Cool Boy came out and like, I just knew I was gonna hear some American ass shit, some real American ass shit. I didn't know who was that. And what was the sound? I always say if the music ain't right, it ain't gonna go right. Them anthems ain't right, it ain't gonna go right. I was being hopeful. I told y'all on Friday how I felt about it. I wanted Fulton to win. I really did. But I know better. And shout out to Rashawn Chance because we had to put our clip on Twitter of him being on the show. Like, he convinced me Like the man was a monster. It was the look on his face when he was telling the story. He was like, the man's a killer. And I know a killer when I see one. And from that moment on, I've always looked at him differently. I don't know why. But I want to know why I woke up so early. That's how I felt. I wanted to support that man. I honestly and really did. But I was very much taken aback. I put on Twitter, I was like, he can't go in there fighting like that and want to win. He's not gonna win fighting like this. I don't know what he was doing, friend. And then he did something with his legs that I really didn't like. I don't know if he's always done this, and I just never paid attention to it. But his stance is so fucking wide for him to be 5'2.5". I was like, no, you can't run from this man with this stance like that. Like, I know Scooter better than that, friend. Like, anyway, just that good. He took all of his good shit away from him. And he was just getting hit. And when he was getting hit, he would get hit with some shit. And I seen it round 2 when he would bleed, and I was like, what did you think when you saw him bleeding, friend, in round 2?
I'm gonna tell you what I thought in round 1. Let me tell you what I thought before the fight. Let me just say this, because we had talked about this on Friday. We had addressed Rajon's comments, and you called it. You said my heart is with Fulton, but I'm going with Inoue. Now I felt the way you felt, but I'm gonna pull for my Black American. I'm just gonna. And I felt like he had the tools. I thought he had the tools to win the fight. I have to be honest with you. My boo thing. He was more excited about this fight than he actually is about Bud and Spence. So he was like, this first round gonna tell the tale. It's like the first round. He was like, this first round gonna tell the tale. And I'd be damn, baby. From round 1, and I do mean round 1, Inoue came out, and his confidence would, and it should have been, he was at home, but his confidence said, I'm gonna show all of y'all, not just you in the ring, not just your trainer, not my fans, because they know, but I'm gonna show all of y'all who watching, who wouldn't typically be watching, why I am who they say I am. Because in your words, he's Himothy. Yeah, he is. He is. And from the very jump, to me, you know what Fulton looked like? And I hate to say this, but he was fighting like Shane Mosley was fighting after he hurt Mayweather and didn't have no more success. He fought like that from the opening bell. He was fainting for no reason, not using no jab, no nothing. I don't know what he thought he was gauging. He just didn't look confident. And this was before he even got touched up. But friend, I was sitting there watching, and right before they said it, I said, is he bleeding? Is his nose bleeding? When I saw the blood, any ounce of confidence that he had was gone. It was gone after that. Any shred of confidence that he thought he had, once he tasted his own blood, it was gone. Monster didn't allow the man to set up to do anything. He took everything away from Steph. He didn't allow him to have a game plan. Whatever he thought he was going to do, he said, no, you not. Because you finna be bobbing and weaving these punches that you finna feel. You gonna feel every last one of them. If you don't feel them, for real, you gonna feel the wind whizzing past your shit. You gonna feel it. He didn't give him he was on him from the opening bell. From the opening bell. Friend, I always want to know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to know what?
I always want to know, especially with a really good fighter, I always want to know what happens when or if you get touched like you don't expect and like you don't want, or you get buzzed for the first time. I always want to know what the reaction is going to be, because if you box long enough, somebody gonna catch you. I don't care who you are, somebody's gonna catch you. So I always want to see what the response is going to be when it's something they don't like. And either one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to grin and bite down and it's on, or they're going to get tentative and they're not going to do what we're used to seeing them do. Well, he already wasn't doing what we was used to seeing him do. So once he tasted that power, it was like, look.
You saw it when he felt it too, friend. His whole attitude about that fight changed. Like, that he was just fainting. He wasn't throwing nothing after the feint. Sir, what are you doing? Like, you are just standing there and let this man hit you. Like, you need to do something other than just stand there. And he could not, friend. Master was walking him down. Like, once he walked him down, I knew it was over with. You can't. Why are you letting him do you? No,
You letting him do you any kind of way. But you know what? When they were doing the tale of the tape, and they were talking about, the knockouts and whatnot, Cool Boy got 20-some fights, only 8 knockouts. He's not a knockout artist. We all know this, but we were thinking he had, decent power. Inoue's coming up in weight, and when I say he had zero respect for that man's power, zilch, zero, you're going to have to show me. And we forget, this motherfucker fought with a whole broken face when he beat up on Donaire. He did. So you hitting him hard is not going to make him stop. You're going to have to stop him. And he had nothing to keep him off of him. Absolutely nothing. That man used that stab jab to that sternum to perfection. Set up the stoppage, right? Way in round 8. He started it in round 1, though.
Did you see the way he knocked him out? And he was out for a little minute before he got up. He knocked him up under the ropes, friend.
I just wonder what he was thinking.
This nigga hurt me. I would have been in there pouting. I would have been crying. I would have stayed there. I would have just stayed there. Because what do you do at that point? I can't hurt him. I can't outmove him. What do I do to stop this man from getting on my ass in such a manner? I have nothing. I would have just laid there, man.
Call him Whitney Houston. Because, baby, that's what he was thinking. I have nothing. I ain't got nothing. Listen, that man, what I thought was going to be Cool Boy's saving grace was, I really, in my mind, thought he was going to be able to outbox Inoue. But what he showed me was, I can beat you in several different ways. If I have to outbox you, I can do that because I'm faster, I'm quicker, I'm stronger. Okay? You can't, it's nothing that you can do that I can't do. And I can do that shit better. That's what he showed me. That's what he showed everybody. So, let me read this to Mr. Vegas. He said, smoking bud, blocking people for no reason, bitch boy. Okay, y'all better cut it out in these comments in the chat section.
And y'all already know. We didn't already told y'all. Everybody get the flow heard. That's how we've been able to build this channel. We've been allowing people to come in here and have an opinion. Now,
and be respectful with your opinion.
But fans, y'all finna end up like some of these people, wrenchless. I just want to throw that in there because I'm not playing with y'all asses. Bud get beat, y'all wrenches is gone, obsolete.
Karma, he should have started windmilling. around. I
He
tweeted that.
wouldn't kneel, y'all. That man was on his ass too much.
It was bad, y'all. I just never imagined he would be completely outclassed like that. He got in some good shots, but even in the rounds that he got good shots in, he didn't win the rounds. He just got off a good few couple of shots. He got, as y'all like to say, washed by a smaller man. I'm like, go ahead, say
Oh,
it.
nothing. I'm looking at the comments and responding to comments on mute as I should.
Okay. Big Dog Willie TWT, he says, Inoue said there's levels to this boxing game. Yes, he did. Not only did he say it, he showed it. Okay. He showed that there are levels to this.
And I think he gonna go up to 126 and do the same thing. Cause who at 126? Navarrete, he going downhill. Who else at 126? It really
ain't nobody safe.
I think he beats all of them, man. I think his power it kind of chill out at 130. I don't think it's gonna carry over after that. Cause he a little dude. But maybe he not a little dude. We don't know. What if he get up to 135 pounds and it's good there? I don't know.
All I know is congratulations to Naoya Inoue for putting on a masterful performance. Like, I have nothing bad to say. And even in the after fight interview, he's still talking about the things that he can improve upon. He kind of scary good a little bit.
Why would you want to get better, sir? I'm confused at that.
I'm very interested to see how much bigger he can get. You know, people are pushing it. I made a tweet, you know, ruffle folks' feathers.
Yeah, y'all friend was inciting violence on Twitter today. Just the FYI.
I'm just saying. Listen, it was apparent to me when I was watching this man, what he did and the performance he put on. It made me feel like, you know what? Dare I say, Monster is who Tank fans want him to be? And people got mad at me for saying that. But what I meant by that, I'm not taking nothing away from Tank's talent, but what I'm saying is, Inoue's ambition. If the way Tank's fans talk about him, it would be it's like he's done what Inoue is doing. Tank's not moving like that. The way Inoue, if Tank moved like what Inoue is moving like as far as his career and his ambition, man, I would completely understand. When I said that, I knew I was going to get some backlash, but then I remember 7A saying, you know, if he be cool, boy, I'll be cool, but he'll have to beat Tank to really show me something. And at the time, I was like, that's too many weight classes. But then I wake up and that's what everybody on Twitter is trying to say. He that's the big fight to make. And then Tank came out his own mouth and basically said, that's a major fight. What do you think about him moving all the way up to 135, friend? Really?
Because you know how I think about stuff. I can't imagine Tank getting beat by Inoue at 135. I won't let my brain go around it. And I know Tank won't go down to 130, but it would be very interesting at 130 because Tank had that same power at 130 that he had at 135.
He did.
So I mean, only reasonable weight for me for that fight will be 130 pounds, and I know it'll never happen.
And that's what I feel. That's why I feel like we would be asking too much to make him to say go fight at 135. I believe a focus tank can still make 130. And if that's the big mega fight, then goddamn it, you're gonna have to sacrifice. And I don't see anything wrong with him making that sacrifice and getting his ass down to 130 to make that huge mega fight. That fight will make more money than him and Ryan or him and Devin. And that's just the bottom line. And if you want that kind of payday, you gonna have to damn sacrifice. That's how I feel about that. We have Mr. Tevis Smith in the super chat. He says Inoue was faster and stronger, and Fulton still stood right in front of him. No angles, no slickness. Deer in the headlights. He did look like a deer in the headlights. And you remember when y'all kept saying he ain't never fought no slick black boxer before. And I told y'all sometimes that's not the end all and be all.
Hey, being slick and black ain't gonna keep you from getting your ass whooped. We seen that today. That he got knocked flat on his back.
I felt so bad because initially I thought he was gonna be able to do enough to make it through and just lose on a real wide decision. But then I started seeing him get touched up. And he was moving him, he was hitting him and turning him around and shit. He was ragdolling him in there.
He couldn't even clinch him. Like, he didn't even get the opportunity to clinch him. I don't want to say more than 3 times. Even if then, he was like getting out of his grip so strongly. I told you about the little people. They real strong, friend. They really strong. And I think he really got that go. Like some little people that I know.
Man. Great fight. When I finished watching that fight, I told y'all these kind of big fights like this, I wish they were spread out more because we get so invested. I was tired. I was up screaming. That's why I'm drinking tea right now. They take a lot out of me just to watch them, so I can only imagine how the boxers feel. But when I finished watching that fight, I don't know about y'all, but I felt like initially coming into the week, this was a perfect fight. This is a perfect appetizer, right? This is a perfect fight to start the week. This is going to be a great appetizer for the main event on Saturday. When I finished watching the fight, looking on Twitter, everybody saying no matter what happens on Saturday, Inoue has earned his #1 spot on the pound for pound list. I can't, in good consciousness, be mad at people for saying that. What I can say is this fight has put an enormous amount of pressure on both guys that are fighting Saturday, as if they don't already have enough. Friend, how do you feel about that? Do you think this has done anything to them?
Hell yeah. This put the spotlight on. Cause if they don't make this shit good, anyway, the best the best fighter in boxing right now. Oh. That's gonna be some arguments to have. And like I'm not like shout out to Cool Boy. It's a whole lot of people's favorite fighters won't even go and try to dare to be great. Like he did the best he could do. Like he just was outclassed, and it be like that sometimes. This is
Sometimes.
boxing. Like I don't know. It'd be like we be hating on people and shit. And maybe it's just because how we say it, it sound like that. But like we're not hating on that man for going to be great. Like he literally was going over there to be great.
Anybody that's tripping, anybody that's talking mess, anybody that's talking noise, anybody that's trying to talk down on that man for going over there and making that fight and doing that fight, y'all are the reason why it's so hard to get these fights, because people don't want to risk losing their own. They feel like the social media era is a motherfucker. Y'all don't do that. Now, it'd be different if he got in there and lost to a nobody. That man got in there and lost to what we're seeing looks like a different kind of animal. And at this point, if you can't recognize that, you might need to figure some shit out. Because That man did that. Sticks and Jab said Monster made Cool Boy look like an amateur. He made him look extra regular. He made him look extra regular. He did. He made him look extra regular.
And you know what?
Never won the match.
It was so crazy. Did you see them interviewing Figueroa?
No. What did he say?
I don't know. I can't remember who was doing the interview. I'm sorry. I cannot give you credit, but they asked him like why he couldn't beat Fulton like that. He's like, shit, I don't know. It make you question, am I that good? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I really that guy to watch this man get up and beat him in the fashion that he did? Like, we can't dispute that Inoue is that guy. Like, Cool Boy was what? The next guy in the division, right? Like, Inoue had majority of the belts. Cool Boy had his belt. That was literally 1 and 2 in the division fighting each other, right?
No, ma'am.
1 and 1?
No. Inoue was the undisputed champion at 118.
Right.
He moved up. This was his first fight at 122. He went to the smoke immediately.
Oh.
That makes
it worse.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes it look worse.
A lot. He went up, challenged the bigger man who is supposed to be the man in the division, and did that to him. And you stopped watching. The guy who got in the ring after him, he has the other 2 belts. So Inoue is trying to make himself a 2-time undisputed champion by the end of this year.
So who's the big boy at 126? Navarrete?
Yes.
What if he go up to 126 and on his first fight?
Not what if. He gonna beat his ass. He gonna beat his ass.
Because I know Navarrete used to be that guy. Is he in his decline? Because the last time I seen him fight, I didn't think he looked that great. Maybe it was just me.
I stand corrected, Teach. Robezy is up at 126.
Oh no, Robezy.
And he was on the undercard.
Hey, did you see the Robezy fight?
I did.
Robezy was looking like tanking that bitch.
That might be the setup. That might be the next fight. Either way, he has options.
Robezy looked, man. I wasn't surprised, but like I was like, yeah, that's how you go over there and you dominate. He went over there and he went through that shit quick.
Left no question. None. When I saw that, because when I got up, it was the end of that fight. I saw the stoppage. So I was like, hell yeah. Okay, Robezy. We getting the party started. Shit. That was it. That was all. Tommy Tom, how you doing? He says it seemed like Fulton underestimated Inoue. He looked shocked by his hand speed, power, and foot speed. I think he thought Inoue was just a hype job. Say, if you're a boxer, it's your job to study your opponent. He should have known better. He should not. He should not have been surprised by anything that came back from Monster Inoue, because he should have been gamed up on that man.
Facts. And Navarrete is finna fight Oscar Valdez.
There we go.
Oh, that's gonna be ugly. And depending on what Oscar we get, Oscar might go in there and get that man the business. Because he's not a bad fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still a good fighter.
If he drinking tea.
Hey, y'all see what he did to Burchell. And we didn't, it's not confirmed that he was on the tee with Burchell. So Miguel is still
Rolo. I love the chat. Thank y'all so much. Rolo says Navarrete is at 130 now. That's why he fighting Valdez. So that 126 is open. That's why it's open for Robezy. Wow. It's a lot.
It's giving very much boxing drama. Like, boxing is back on the map, and we got all weight class. Remember, boxing used just to be heavyweights. Like, the welterweight it came along, but it used to be just heavyweights. Now we getting little dudes. I can't wait to see Bam and Sonny. You see, they got a bet. Him and Clarissa
That's
got a bet.
that's who down there at 122.
Bam.
Or is
Nah,
he at 118? Where he at?
they at 115,
Well, he better stay down there.
112,
Stay
something
there.
like
Stay there. Stay
that. Yeah,
down there.
they little.
Stay down
Like
there. Okay.
boxing is so lit. We got Spence versus Crawford coming. We got Canelo versus Magamel. Speaking of Magamel, have you seen Magamel?
I saw what you posted.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be in here crying. I'm gonna be in here so salty and sad, but I'm gonna be happy. But I'm gonna be very much sad. Cause if Canelo get knocked out, my stomach gonna be hurting for days. Carla and Blam, I need help.
West, she just posted a picture of male training. It's a still picture of him looking like he was doing some training, but he's looking nice and ready. Is what he's looking. Okay, he's looking really nice and ready.
We built a fighter. This is America versus Mexico. He finna go in there and be on that best bullshit at that presser. I just want you to know.
Baby, he gonna be living in America.
We built, but aren't you proud of yourself?
You
Look how
did
many
that. Oh, baby, that's you. That's all you.
look how
That's all
many
you.
things we have put together, friend. Look how many things we have put together. Like we
Savannah, we
built
on your ass. We still on your ass, Savannah.
my friend Shadesha Green would like her belts. But like we building stuff, we making stuff noticeable. We giving people a brand and a label. It's working out fantastically.
I think so. Y'all better get on it. Why still hey, I'm trying to tell y'all we know what we talking about over here. A
We
little bit.
do. I told y'all Inoue was gonna win that fight. Don't nobody listen to me. Like, you know what we could do? Eventually we gonna grow a little bit before we start doing we gonna have to do a betting show. Because we're rarely wrong.
This is true.
We're rarely wrong. And the times that we're all wrong is slim.
It ain't by a lot.
And it's not by a lot. We have called majority of these fights correctly. And at this point, our biggest fight, our winner, our shabam is Saturday, friend. Saturday is our shabam.
Let's talk about it. Because today, yeah, we are more logical, Karma, and we're magical. Today, we saw the grand arrivals of the fighters that will be showcased on Saturday. We saw the grand arrivals for Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford. And we also saw, man, boxing just overwhelmed me today. It started early with the fight. Then I get to work, open up my YouTube, and I see that the Pivot showing their episode with Bud. I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm trying to work and listen. Then the grand arrivals after lunch. I was just bombarded by boxing today. I'm tired, y'all. But Bud was on the Pivot, did an outstanding job on the shout out to the Pivot. I love those guys. They are not the most knowledgeable boxing fans, but they try. Okay, they do try. But they got Bud to loosen up. He seemed very comfortable with them. Told stories that I had not heard before. I knew about the shooting and whatnot, but he gave some details and whatnot. He was just very relaxed, and it was him in good spirits. He had his boys, a couple of his boys with him. Didn't know he had 7 children. Lord Jesus, boy, put that thing up. But just a really good interview. Really good. They funny over there though, because they asked that man if he was gonna try to get a shape up or was he gonna have the Malcolm X, and he just wasn't gonna groom it or what. He was like, I might, I don't know, I might do a little something. But he seemed confident, seems very relaxed, not uptight. He seems to be approaching this as if it's another day in the office, just another day in the boxing office. I don't know if that's the right move, but hey, go off, young fella, go off. Tavis Smith, he says, Canelo's people better not come with those drums or Mel gonna beat the hell out of him. Well, that did not bode well for Castano. It did not. It did not. He did not. Yeah, it was a really good interview. If you haven't checked it out, I really, really think you should. Show Bud in a really good light. They ask good questions. They asked him, friend, why you think you don't come off as a likable guy? Do you know why that is? What is that about? They asked some really good questions. And
if you a Spence fan, you better not watch that shit until Sunday. It's wartime. I don't know why y'all on that friendly shit because the fight was made. I'm not watching that shit till Sunday. I'll watch it Sunday and then we'll see what's up. I'm telling you, after Sunday, we're gonna be best friends. I'm done with my Bomac jokes. All that shit's a wrap. You'll never hear me say anything else about Bomac after Sunday. So next Friday, you won't hear me say nothing else about Bomac ever. I wish him the best. And I hope he get his health together. But until then, he got his feet look like baked potatoes.
Well,
okay.
I told the young fella, we had a comment in one of our shows who was asking us to refrain from speaking about Bomac because it's just mean. So I said that I would refrain from any comments or, jokes or participating in any of his weight slander. So I'm not going to say anything.
Well, I tell you what, the shit better not end how I think it's going to end. Sunday, y'all going to have to take y'all work. He going to get it Sunday. Bud going to get it Sunday. And then we going to be friends next week. That'll be my last day.
Okay. Well, did you get to see the entrances today?
I saw Sean Porter up there looking like he sucked his thumb still, looking musty as hell, talking about he finna start a goddamn suit line. Sean Porter has been in the triple digits for the last 2 months. Ain't nobody wearing no fucking suits. They got built-in coolers or something. A suit? A suit? Sean looked musty. He had that fucking headband on. Out there acting like Keith Thurman. What time is it? Showtime. No, it's not. It's time for you to go get out of that t-shirt. You didn't worn it too many times. And it's white. You own the show, Sean. Why do you keep recycling this same fucking shirt? I know you got 1 million of them. He was musty. I know he had on some big ass fucking Reeboks. They didn't even show his feet, but I know them bitches was big. Every shoe Sean got is humongous. But yeah, I seen it. It was great.
Jason, I was about to click the button. I was about to go. I was about to leave.
Don't leave. Y'all know Sean loves my jokes. Sean thinks the jokes is funny. That's why I don't mind cracking them. The whole Porterway podcast love us. So I want y'all to know this is the understanding that we have here. Like Sean, been some time Sean has came out. He looked nice. When he was in Dallas had Sean clean to the T. He had a fresh white Crispies on. He had on a brand new white t-shirt. This shit he had on today, he looked like a musty track star. He looks like he just sweat, just full of just sweat and teeth. And I know y'all, they go back and watch this shit. And Carson, Sean, because it's 2 Seans on the show. Y'all need to get y'all friend together, okay? Because I've had enough of looking at him like that. Talking about what time is it? Showtime. No, it's not. Man, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And then the man gonna ask him, talking about, do he want to come back? Then Sean tell y'all his hip was toe up. My hip was up, so I know what it's like to have hip issues. Like he said, these people yell at me from the street. Like I don't want to come back in here and do this shit anymore. These people are crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, sorry.
No, for real. Now, Sean, when he kept saying what time is it, and it was like maybe two people said showtime, it was like no.
He made them keep repeating it to everybody in the crowd. Picked it up. The first, like two people yelled it out. They was like showtime, and then he was like, "What time is it?" Then a couple more people was like, "Okay, maybe this is what we should." Then he said it the third time, and everybody was like, "Fuck it, y'all better yell for him because he gonna say it again."
I was like, Sean, Sean, they not there for you, sweetheart. And then he gonna talk about why would I come back when I could still get this? But Sean, you making them, you done pointed a gun to him to say it though, Sean.
He gave them $5 a piece. Here go $5. When I say what time is it, y'all say showtime. Some people ask for $10. Either way, they yelled it out. I was very much bamboozled at that. Sean. Okay, Sean. Okay.
Yeah, Sean. Thanks though, Sean. Yeah. Good Lord. Nurse Lee. Thank you, Nurse Lee. She said Sean Porter looks like Jamie Foxx's Wanda on in Living Color. Hashtag Team Spence. Y'all. Whew. Okay. All right. Not talking about Sean no more. Yes. Brother Code 10 says salute to the Porter Roast session. Ladies and gentlemen, BOXIANA the Menace.
I'm innocent. I'm very much innocent. But I seen them. I very much saw them walk in, but was expeditiously early because he think he good at everything, so he got to show up early and on time and shit. And he was there early and with his baked potato. Why is he so big? I don't. Why would he be walking out first?
He got to clear the way for you. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing. Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, I don't want to talk about his weight today, but I saw them. Bud very much needs to get it together. I don't know what he gonna do with that. I hope he don't come out there like that, but maybe he will. Maybe they both. Errol cut all of his facial hair off. That's what was different about him when I couldn't figure out what it was. He didn't already cut his hair, but that hair on his head is staying, and I told you. So Bud coming out looking how he looking. They looking how they looking.
I think they both are gonna be looking how they looking.
I think they're gonna be looking how they looking. They both look dirty. And if it wasn't for the fact that Errol cleaned his face up, he would look that same amount of dirty too, just a lighter skin dirty.
I don't know what this is. They roughing it. They definitely are roughing it. They are wolfing it. I don't know.
Errol that he ain't seen his fiance. He didn't seen her, but he ain't synced her in over 8 weeks. That's a whole lot of time that I don't know how she doing it. Cause mine can't leave for 24 hours, and I'm like, when you coming back? Because I'm ready for you to be back at home. Like I don't know how.
If he showed you that contract and them zeros and commas, you'd be like,
no, I'm a crybaby. Absolutely not. You know what? Speaking of crybaby, I am a crybaby. Cause you know what? I didn't got too close to boxing. I'm too involved with this shit because I promise you, like watching this shit made me cry.
Why?
And like, I think because friend, like I'm so proud of them. And it's not just Errol. I'm proud of Bud too. Like we're about to be a part of something that a lot of people didn't get a chance to be a part of. Like get a chance to see. Like
Yeah.
we finna build our fan base off this shit right here. Like we doing it off this fight.
Yeah. She is a crybaby, Jason. She is a crybaby. I was like, what are you tearing up for, Softy? Oh my God. Sorry.
I'm a professional crier, okay? I am a crybaby. My granny told me a long time ago that I like to cry, and I believe her. I think I do like to cry, but no, I really am a really sensitive person, for real, for real.
Softy. Yeah, she a big old punk. Just a big old softy.
I don't
Yes.
have.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna say rest in peace to Kurt Sugar and also Coach, because there are a lot of people in the boxing community that are not here to see this fight who are really, really, really wanting to see this fight. So those are just the folks that we know for sure. But I'm sure there are tons of folks all over the world that did not get a chance to see what we about to see on Saturday. And so I'm just happy that they are finally here. I have the utmost respect for both gentlemen. Um, say what you want to say about Bud and the contract negotiations and whatever, whatever, whatever. I was looking at something that said this fight is happening at the right time when it's supposed to be happening. That's what they both are saying. So if that's what Errol is saying, I always ride with whatever it is my fighter is saying. If that's what Errol is saying is happening at the right time, I'm going with that. Okay. It was the suit and ties. That's where he's laying the blame. And so I implore all of y'all who are not going to Vegas, who are going to watch the fight. I don't care if y'all contributing, if y'all going in on the fight with somebody else. Y'all, please buy the fight. I never come on here and ask y'all to buy fights. I don't, because I don't be caring, because sometimes I don't. But for this one, because of the turbulence we had getting this fight, if it does not do the right numbers, especially coming off of Fulton going over there doing what he did and not being victorious, they are going to look at making big fights sideways. If not for the fighters being scared to lose their O, for the business folks being scared not to make their money back. So we have to really, really let them know that we buy the shit that we asking for. The stuff that we want to see, we gotta pay for that shit. Okay. We have to. All the other stuff that we don't want to see, I ain't imploring nobody to pay for nothing that they don't want. But we all collectively said we wanted this fight. So if you are not going to the fight, contribute in some way of the purchasing of the fight, please and thank you. What did you think about Bud coming in there? He's been in sweats and hoodies, and it's Vegas and it's hot. He's been in there like he's still shedding pounds. When he did his media workout, he didn't have his
The
shirt
whole
out.
camp is big. The whole camp is large. Keyshawn took his drawers. He told the people he needed to take his drawers off before he got on the scale. He came in there at 134.6 without his drawers on. I'm sorry, 4 without his drawers on. He went into that fucking Pivot podcast with a long sleeve goddamn sweatshirt on too. I did see that much.
And
I'm
then
wondering.
BJ.
Ignore, ignore him, friend. Empty ways. I noticed that, friend. And Bo Mac been in sweats too. So I'm wondering if he's trying to lose some too. Maybe they trying to hide something. They better check them gloves. Don't bring them gloves that y'all brought to David Avenesian, or I'm gonna think y'all been hanging out with Tyson Fury. So that's all I'm gonna say. Bring the gloves, the correct gloves. I don't know, friend. Like I haven't seen Errol look like this since he was with Blue. I'm gonna just be frank with you. You know, normally still around this time, you be kind of. I be wondering before pre-accident. I was very concerned about him. Sometimes he got a nutritionalist that is taking care of him. Great. They went on like a 5 mile hike up in the mountains the other day. Did you see that?
Did.
What are you doing?
Getting ready for destruction.
Listen, and people kept saying he tired after punching the heavy bag. Like most people are tired after a workout. Like, do y'all want him to what? Like, what do you want him to do? I was very much confused. Like people call this a fat camp. Like all kinds of crazy shit. Like I don't know, y'all. I know y'all want to say Errol ain't shit. Like a lot of Bud fans are basically like Errol is trash. Y'all finna see why he trash. Like he didn't become a 3 belt holder by being trash. He didn't beat trash opponents to take those belts either.
Listen, I see your comments, Rolo. I see you saying that, Errol's looking drained and whatnot. That hair has a lot to do with his face looking thinner, but he always looks thinner. There's no secret. Like people try to act like it's a secret when they see Spence fight week, or they try to act like there is this big conspiracy when they see Devin when he fights at 135. We know it's not easy for them to get down there. The question is, can they get down there and get down there healthy? That has always been the question. And once you get older, it's harder to do. Hence the nutritionist. This man, to me, he's never made the weight as easy as he's making the weight now with the nutritionist. He is clearly on weight right now. The man has on a t-shirt, shorts. His trainer, his nutritionist last week after his workout said the man had a burger. He's on weight. He's losing weight healthily. Bud has never had a problem with the weight because he's not a natural 147. He's coming up. Maybe this is his natural walk around weight, closer to it than from it. All I'm saying is this. EJ look ready. He looks really ready. Like this wasn't a fat camp. He's not stressing about whether or not he's gonna make the weight. He's ready today. He looks lean. He looks trim. His face is chiseled. That's what I expect for him to look. He doesn't look sick. And every time y'all say that about Devin. Y'all say that about David Benavidez. Y'all say that about Errol Spence. And every time y'all say that stupid shit, they go in there and they take care of motherfucking business. So you can say that if you want to.
You know what's crazy? I've never seen a fan base like squallow as fast as Bud fans are. Like first it was Errol ain't gonna be conditioned enough. He fat. Now he underweight and they scared for him. They're concerned about him. You know what I'm noticing that they're doing? They're underestimating Errol. They're underestimating Errol. I promise you, Bud is the greatest fighter in the world. I want y'all to look over Errol. I want y'all to think he flat-footed and he can't box and he can't move. Cause y'all, I'm not gonna say shit.
There's nothing else to say.
Saturday is coming. Y'all finna be crying.
Winter is coming. Okay. If y'all watch Game of Thrones, then you know. Winter is coming. Okay. Tevis Smith, thank you, Tevis. He says Errol needs to bring back that shag. Errol needs to bring that shag back for this fight. I 100% agree. I saw today Presidential Mike that Black Air Force's EJ is back. He says, rest in peace, bud. Listen, He had black forces on today. If between now and Saturday, he just so happens to don a shag, Bud done told y'all, he tells us every time he gets a chance, he's already amongst the greats. This fight doesn't put him there. He's already there. To me, that speaks to his mindset. He don't have to win this fight to be a great. He feels he already is one. So with that being said, when the going gets tough, and it's gonna get tough, where's he gonna go? Fuck he gonna go? Where you going? Andre Styles says, I lost my scooter bet, but I still got my Spence bet. You're going to recoup. You're going to recoup on that bet. So we shall definitely see. The rubber is going to meet the road. All this talking, all this speculating that we have been doing for the longest time, we will get to see, finally, who is the guy at 147. We will finally get to see. Much respect to both gentlemen. I just feel like my guy from Dallas, Texas, is the guy. He is the guy. His whole attitude exudes the guy, especially about this fight. So much so that he was willing to concede a lot of things because he wants this scalp on his mantle. This the one. He wants this scalp. And I like the fact that Bud let his hair grow out, because this scalp on the mantle gonna stand out. I like it. I like it. Friend, what are you looking forward to most on weigh-in day?
Errol make it weight. I don't care about nothing else because they be calling him fat, chubby, all kinds of shit. I just want Errol to make weight. I want to see what that other scale look like. I know Bud gonna make weight. He's always ready. But he walking around in 107-degree weather, 117-degree weather with a sweatshirt on. I mean, I don't like being hot, and I don't care what nobody say in this heat. Y'all not cool in them fucking hoodies. By no means, by no way are y'all cool in that hoodie. You sweating. You musty shit. You're sour under there because you sweating and you covering it up with thick cotton. I don't understand it. I just want to see Errol make weight, friend. He ain't got to do nothing fancy. He ain't got to talk too much. I just want to see him make weight.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Thank y'all so much for coming in. I see y'all coming through here. Ricky Beavers, John Norrie, Justin Stevens, Titanium X, Contender. I see you up in here. KF Harris, Yagua, Castro, Dank Father, TZ Frank, The Messenger 215, Gun Toten. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all coming in. We popped up on a good Tuesday. Mike G, I see you. And so we appreciate y'all sliding through for us. We really do. Friend, is there anything else that you want to discuss with the good people before we get on up out of here?
Now, friend, we touched the most. We still got another show to hit and one more to hit on Sunday. So we thank y'all for coming through. If you are new here and you like what you heard, we on our way to 200K by tomorrow. So hit the like button, subscribe, share. Look at our numbers, you guys. We came from like 200 people, 200 people, and now we over 3,000 really fast because we just hit 3K like a couple of months ago, maybe a month ago. So like we appreciate y'all. Come back on Friday. We're gonna be doing this same shit, but with a little bit more attitude because one more sleep on Friday and we gonna wake up to a fight on Saturday.
Man, I can't wait. R. West, he comes back. He says, will we see the weigh-in? The schedule says ceremonial. I'm glad you said that. We probably won't see it. And a lot of people tried to act like, oh my God, it's so out of the ordinary. When Devin Haney had a ceremonial weigh-in with Lomachenko, but it's more normal than you think. So, I don't know if we'll actually get to see the real weigh-in. I'm sure somebody gonna have some footage somewhere on YouTube. We may not get to see them actually, but we may see them walking in and coming out. I don't know. Snacks B says EJ was on his toes hitting that bag. That's a problem. Big problem. Big problem. But it's okay. We ain't got to talk about it. We will all see. We will all see what happens on Saturday. I'm glad we had this show Tuesday because today's fight deserved its own show. It deserved its own recap. The show was that good. The show that they put on was that good. I'm calling it an appetizer. I hope it's an appetizer for what we get on Saturday. On Saturday, I'm expecting the main course. I'm expecting it to be high level, 5-star meal kind of fight is what I'm expecting. And for a lot of people, the winner of that fight is going to be the pound for pound best fighter in the world. Okay. Can't wait to see it. Some folks don't think so, but I believe, depending on what kind of performance we get, the winner of that fight is indeed going to be the number one pound for pound fighter in boxing. So we shall see. That match will get our own regular Friday shabam. And I'm glad we could do this for y'all tonight. Thank y'all so much. Hit that like button before we get up out of here, and we'll see y'all on Friday. Peace, y'all. Peace.